we're going to give you some great health tips. And Dr. B and I are just going to give you a rundown of what 2022 was for us here on Health Check. Morning, Dr. B.
Good morning and very happy New Year to you. I know it's going to be a really sparkly one for your career.
Yes, everybody's been affirming that today, Dr. B. Thank you. Yes.
So what we're going to do is, I thought, rather than dive into medicine, is really to review resolutions that people make. They've been making them every year, and I have lots of patients telling me exactly what they're going to do like they did last year, but never achieve it. And I think, as you know, memberships to gyms rise and referrals to dietitians go up, but eventually the weight stays and sticks, and the health membership begins to decline, and you waste your money. So I think, it's 2023, and I think it's making and sticking to resolutions can be difficult. So I think save some wasted time, grab a journal for our listeners or a pen, and let's talk about some of these things. Because I think, when creating a resolution, I think the most important thing is to make sure the resolution is really realistic and attainable, and in addition, measurable. There's no good writing, I'm going to lose weight. You need to say I'm going to lose 5 kilos over 3 months and 1.5 kilos a week and 500 grams every 2 days.
Yeah.
And this is how I'm going to do it, and how am I going to do it? I'm going to cut these particular foods, and how often am I going to cut them? So you actually have a really detailed, because these sort of loose resolutions are really wishy-washy, and so what are you looking to improve? What needs to happen in order for you to become an ideal or better version of yourself? And why do you want to do it? What am I hoping to achieve when you do it? I'm talking about never mind, I guess, from a health perspective, but from any perspective, what are you going to hope to achieve by fulfilling this resolution? And I think really importantly, is it realistic? Because people say, Naka, I'm going to lose 15 kilos. And, it's not really realistic. And so does it feel achievable? And is the overall resolution something that can be measured in really small steps and small goals? I'm going to do 5Ks every day. I'm going to walk 10,000 steps. I'm going to make sure that I cut carbs 3 times a week. Whatever it is, these are really, it's important to be able to measure and realistic resolutions. This is really important. I think after choosing a measurable goal, and this is 38 now years of medicine, I think the most important thing is ask yourself, where are you now? Whether it's weight, whether it's blood pressure, whether it's an addiction to sugar or alcohol or even tobacco, where are you now? And then what does progress look like and feel like to you? Where do you want to be in a week or a month or 3 months? I always say, honestly, a journal is the best thing to do. Every day, look at yourself and say, what have I done? What have I not done? Why have I not done it? And what do you need to do to achieve your resolution? And what do you need to change or not change? What are the things you should do and not do? Where can I start? What can I drop from my lifestyle rather than what can I put into my lifestyle? Is as important a question. What should be lacking rather than what should be added to your lifestyle? And what sequence of steps make sense to you? You can't suddenly start weightlifting and doing dead weights, when you are massively overweight and haven't gone to the gym. Often we see this is the month where we see lots of people tearing their muscles, having high blood pressure, collapsing on a treadmill, because they suddenly think, I'm going to launch into this stuff, and your body needs time, and if you don't, your body's going to punish you. So you make sure that these steps are really realistic. So these are really important things to do. And most important for me, though, is people need to measure the successes, and pat yourself on the back. You can have cheat days. People think, you need to live like a monk or a hermit. That's not true. So you can actually get cheat days. So that really is important in terms of accountability.
Definitely.
So I think, accountability to yourself, and I always say, people don't like it, but tell other people about your resolution so that, somebody's always asking you, how are you doing on your, reduced alcohol, or how are you doing on your weight loss? Because if you keep it inside, you can cheat yourself. So if you tell people, I'm going to do this, people will come back to you and say, you know what, Sue, have you done this?
Just a quick reminder.
Yeah, and sometimes, can even ask the question, do I need support from those around me in order to achieve my goals? Often, if you have a running mate or a walking mate, if you have somebody who's trying to lose weight with you, who goes shopping with you, then what you put in your shopping basket is also being scrutinized. So have somebody police you as well as you policing them. So that's really, is there anyone or anything that can help me keep myself accountable? And everybody knows how they work best, and I think that's the best thing to do. And try not to miss a day. If you miss a day, it's okay. But if you miss 2 days, psychologists say that once after 2 days, the third day you think, I've missed it.
Yeah, you lose it.
You lose it, you know. And lastly, I think if you can't think of a resolution for those out there, we've got some questions coming in here. Somebody's asking, what resolutions do I have? Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, I want to know too, Dr. B. What are you leaving and what are you starting?
I've actually put them down. So my resolutions are to be moving more, because I do so much sitting. You know, I sit and work and sit and drive and sit and eat, and you know, so it's moving more. It's I think for me, it's more being and less doing. I need to sort of reflect and contemplate, and people rush to say things and do things rather than actually just being, you know. So remember, we are human beings, not human doings. So be more. And I think I've also learned with all this technology around me to go slow, you know, less hurry. You know, I believe in the slow movement. You know, there's fast food and there's fast ways to lose weight, and everything's fast. But just slow down. And I think for me also to get a little bit more outdoors, you know, see the sun, get some nature, breathe in. We're indoors all the time, and so that's important. Yeah. For me, I've written here more smiles and less anger. I've written more eating in than eating out.
Yes.
I've written more letting go than holding on. I've written here more relation and less isolation.
Awesome, yes.
I've written just for you more music and less noise.
Yes. That's so perfect, Dr. V. Everything you said is exactly what was talked about today with some of my colleagues, that we just gotta let go and, like, you know, I love those. Those are great resolutions.
Yeah, and my last one is more gratitude and less attitude.
Yes. Dr. V, you're hitting the tail in the donkey.
What about you, Zoo? Let's announce it so that people know they're going to call you and they're going to Instagram you, say, oh, how far are you?
Definitely. I mean, I think for me, Dr. B, is being more intentional about my work when it comes to radio, when it comes to singing, and putting out exactly what it is I want to. I'm also going to be very grateful about the life that I have, because not a lot of people, you know, have the kind of things that I have. Yeah. I also am going to have boundaries, Dr. B. I have just been a people pleaser all of my life. Yeah. So now I'm going to have boundaries and think about myself first. In terms of health, I'm definitely going to do more checkups, make sure that I'm, you know, able to have babies and be all right, you know, mentally, physically. Yeah, those are my resolutions.
I think the most important thing that people, as they get older, should learn to do is what you said, is learn to say no.
Yes.
Because by learning to say no, you're saying yes. You're saying yes to yourself.
Yes.
You know, if you are a people pleaser, then the problem is that nobody cares about you. You know, and people know that I can always ask Zoo to do this and bring this and buy this and get this.
Oh my gosh, no. Yeah, Dr. B, I feel you.
Yeah. So this is important, and I think the best way is really every morning to say these are things that I want to achieve, and really tiny steps. You know, even if it's, you know, there was a very famous time in my life where I met a pilot, and he told me really interesting stories that you know, if when they're tracking, you know, before they take off, they put in their parameters of where they're going, you know, 28 degrees north and south and 1 west, and they said that if you put 1 degree out, eventually you'll end up in the wrong place. So in other words, small steps in the wrong direction eventually leads to really large steps. So everything is done in small steps, and I guess, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and that's what I'm trying to say, that whether it's chocolate, alcohol, whether it's weight loss, whether it's being kinder to yourself, and you're right, Zoo, you know, if you sacrifice for your health for everything else, eventually you can't do the things you want to do because your health is impaired.
Yes.
So that's really important.
No, I love that, Dr. B. Do we have anything more that you want to just share with the listener before we enter 2023 properly?
I think the only thing I would say is that if you practice the habit of speaking and writing truth to yourself, and this is a skillful habit, it will work way into your heart and you'll become much more at ease. That's really it. Be truthful to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. People tell themselves such stories. You know, I did this because of this. I have an excuse because something else happened. You know, be truthful to yourself. And that's really what I say, because you judge yourself when you sleep on your pillow.
Yes. No, Dr. B, I loved this conversation today, and I think 2023 is going to be absolutely amazing because we're starting it off on a good note.
Yes, we'll keep track of these resolutions as time goes by. And I think next week we'll launch into the health series.
Perfect, Dr. V. Well, have a great Sunday.
And you too. Sing along.
Yes. Bye, Dr. V. And that was Dr. Bugget. He's spoken to my life and he's spoken to your life too. Listen, let's set those resolutions and make sure we keep them going, flowing like the water. And always be grateful. Hey, be grateful for the little that you have, even if it's big. It must be little to someone. It must be big. Just be grateful for your life. Be grateful that you woke up in the morning. Let go and let God. Write words of affirmation for yourself. If you're judging yourself over the past, let it go. No one cares. And if you're a people pleaser or an ex-people pleaser like myself, love yourself, have boundaries, have discernment. Be filled with great spirit. Guard your heart. Make sure when you wake up in the morning, there is nothing that deters you, because you are the most powerful thing on this planet. Do you understand? And when it comes to health, take care of yourself, please. It's the House of Zoo. My name is Zuzue Mavuma. It has been such an amazing Sunday. I cannot wait to talk to you next week, Saturday and Sunday. Same time, same place. Saturdays it's 9 to 11. Sundays is 9 to 12 on the House of Zoo. Bye, y'all.